12 most expensive cakes in the world. Cake's a word which brings water to your mouth right as you hear it. We understand that the more complicated the cake, the more expensive it is. But sometimes it's hard to believe that a cake could cost more than an actual new car. From royal cakes to edible towers, here are the 12 most expensive cakes in the world that can ruin your life savings. Number 12. Sofia Vergara and Joe Manganiellos wedding cake, $50,000. Apart from the royals, this is the second most expensive wedding cake. We all know how much Sofia loves sweet things, and what more of a better occasion than her marriage to flaunt one of the best looking cakes in the world. This was designed as a 5-layer masterpiece with white and ivory flowers drooling from each tier. The designer Sofia is known as the Queen of Cakes, and she knows how to justify her tag quite satisfyingly. The cake was designed to match the venue and theme of the wedding, and oh good lord it did. Obviously, the wedding did not stay limited to just the cake, but also made a talks for the variety of desserts it offered, like different sundaes and customized toppings. Number 11. Gucci Mane and Keeshia Kayores wedding cake, $75,000. Beauty and elegance are the words to describe this wonderful looking cake. We just can't take our eyes off of it. Talk about a very expensive cake. This is what it should look like. We can talk about it all day and night and we would never get tired. The cake stood 10 feet tall, which in return required the couple to cut it with a sword. The cake tiers consisted of 2 fat layers and altered between the different flavors mentioned above. With the mention of the flavors, we remember that the hubby had to say, the Swarovski's crystals embedded in every tier of the cake completed the theme of the wedding. This really looked like a $75,000 cake compared to the other cakes on the list. The couple really knows what was needed to drag the attention of the media towards them, and bagged a place in the list of the most expensive cakes in the world. God bless them for gracing our article with such a gorgeous cake. Number 10. Prince William and Kate Middleton's royal wedding cake, $78,000. 10th on our list is the royal cake from Prince William and Kate Middleton's wedding. This cake stood just 3 feet tall with a traditional 8-tier structure. Honestly strange for being this small, taking into account the history of cakes at the royal weddings. The cake had started taking shape 2 months before the wedding. Yes, I know you might think that how could someone eat stale cakes at their wedding, but this notion is completely wrong. Fruit cakes take time to mature and have a longer shelf life compared to modern sponge cakes. The addition of alcohol to it helps them preserve better for a longer period of time. Not royal icing, but the use of fondant is done in the making of this cake. The cake features 900 sugar paste bows, ribbon flowers, giving it a quite intricate and detailed look. Number 9. Nabua Icarus Platinum Cake, $130,000. Now tell me, what do you think of this cake when it's slapped with a price tag of $130,000? The first time we saw it, our thought is that people have been shaking trees in order to earn money, and therefore it's so easy spending so much on a cake. Instead, we were proved wrong when we get to know that this was indeed created for a marketing gimmick rather than for tasting purposes. Yes, Platinum Guile International is a brand that was promoting women to come closer towards platinum jewelry and make more use of it. It's the same brand that sponsored the making of this cake, and even though the cake itself does not surprise you, we had to put it on our list since the shine of the platinum could not drag our eye away. The cake is a fondant cake dressed in beautiful platinum jewelry, and yes, it's not the only thing that covers up for its okayish design, but also the fact that the cake has edible platinum flakes covered in plain fondant and frosting. Number 8. Masami Miyamoto's Diamond Chocolate Cake, $850,000. Like the other delicacies on this list of the most expensive cakes in the world, this little beauty turns out to be the 8th costliest cake. The cake is decorated with 100 diamonds weighing up to a total of 50 carats. It takes the concept of a tree with its branches bearing beautiful fruits to it. The cake was created for marketing purposes to attract customers that come from Christmas shopping at a mall. It is kept for display at the Takashimaya department store in the western city of Osaka. The cake is set up for auction and has no buyers till this date, but the owners are confident justifying the price tag because of the jewelry attached to it. Number 7. Luster Dust Cake, $1.3 million. This luster dust cake was designed in 2010. Luster dust frosting is the main ingredient used in the making of this cake. It is dressed with $1 million worth diamonds and was created for the Dallas Bridal Fair, being kept on public display. The curvy lines of the cake were decorated with silver dust. This foam-inserted cake had to be kept under a 24-hour watch and transported in an armored vehicle. Well, what if we told you that after spending $1.3 million on a cake, you won't even get a bite of this? Correct, because this cake is not edible and would only prove to be a showpiece at your place. $1.3 million for a showpiece that's not even too much for a show? Number 6. Africa Cake, $5 million. This cake was created by a jewelry store owner who was probably thinking he could put diamonds anywhere and make the cake a part of the most expensive cakes in the world. Its borders are embedded with real diamonds and the African continent tip being bombarded with it. The tip embossed with 2,000 diamonds that depict Africa's hotspots for diamond mines. Number 5. Nahid Parsa's Luxury Bridal Show Cake, $20 million. The luxury bridal show held in Beverly Hills, California, always has something to amuse its audience. In fact, if we were writing this article in 2006, this would be the most expensive cake back then. It's elegant, it's gorgeous, and it's one of the prettiest cakes on the list. It is decorated with huge diamonds placed so elegantly on the cake that it's hardly noticeable. It takes the shape of a bride's gown and is truly majestic with the pink flowers blossoming at the bottom of the cake. The cake is covered in gold dust and gold flakes and was kept under heavy guard. Number 4. The Voras Rose Diamond Gala Cake, $30 million. So 4th most expensive cake in the world again for a very basic looking cake. However, the Rose Diamond Gala Cake from Buddy Valastro and his team becomes the most expensive cake on Cake Boss. Your fantasy of having an identical dessert, which is part of the most expensive cakes in the world, ends here. The cake is said to be studded with emeralds, rubies, sapphires, diamonds, and was made at the request of Devora, who is quite famous for her lavish living. The cake was made by the creator of Cake Boss, a reality show after he significantly gained interest in becoming the chef who created the world's most expensive cake back then. Number 3. Timuthukumarasinga Pirates Fantasy Cake, $35 million. If this list was about the 10 most innovative cakes of all time, we would surely have this cake lingering around at the top. What a jurisdiction to its price tag, the cake consists of different flavors like the cinnamon, zucchini, purple yam, coconut chips, as well as pistachio, rosemary, almond cookies, white chocolate, coconut meringue, baked cheese, sweet wineberry, pineapple, walnut, pumpkin, and lemon. Number 2. The National Gay Wedding Show Cake, $52 million. Another way of burning cash when it comes to spending on nothing. A $52 million price tag for a cake to be a part of the most expensive cakes in the world, and no justification to it apart from its diamonds, is not just worth the talk. This piece satisfied a purpose for a TV show aired in Liverpool. The cake took just 5 days for its bakers since there is nothing so special about it. Its existence is used to break records and garner attention towards the event. And finally, number 1. Debbie Wingham's Runway Cake, $75 million. This cake has shattered every record to date to become the most expensive cake of all time. It costs a staggering $75 million, crazy enough to burn a hole in not just yours but your generations and generations' wallets. Honestly, we have seen prettier cakes than this, and assure we could even make something absolutely stunning in just under $10,000. $75 million is the pay to take the first place in the list of the most expensive cakes in the world. Anyways, the cake resembles the concept of a ramp walk with fondant figures dominating the core of the cake. Chocolate ganache and triple Belgium chocolate are in use to make the ramp. It features 4,000 diamonds all together with pink, yellow, black, and white diamonds. In the end, we cake lovers just have one thing to say: a cake is the heart of any occasion.